Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing how I went from ignorant, closed-minded with low self-awareness to open-minded, confident and inspired with high self-awareness. Firstly, it's going to be really talking about my story and what I went through and the tools that I did to get to where I am now. And hopefully you can get some benefit from it as well as I share my journey. So a little bit about me and how my journey started was, it was about 3 to 4 years ago. It was 2019 and I was your typical institution girl. I went to university, I got my 2 degrees, I did a Bachelor of Science and a Master's of Science, both majoring in environmental, and I just found myself loving the university sector, so much so that I actually went into working for a university. And I kind of just started while I was studying. I was just working in administration at the time, and then worked my way up into a law school as a business operations coordinator. So I was involved in the whole institution. I loved the education sector. And the way that I looked to validate people in that point in time was through their qualifications. Like if you didn't have qualifications, you weren't really going anywhere in your life. How different my mentality is now is ridiculous, but we'll get to that. So it really started with my now husband really embarking on his own journey, and he went into this whole spiritual awakening, and it was from a couple of issues that we had between ourselves at the time, and he went down the full personal development route, and I was so against it. He just found these coaches online and he started going to their seminars, and I was like, who are they? What are you doing? Like, what are they even teaching? I asked him, do they have qualifications? Are they professors in their field? Are they even looking at science? And my partner at the time was like, well, yeah, they're pretty well researched in human development, neuroplasticity, and also just, embarked on their own spiritual aspects as well. And I kind of just remember saying to him, oh my God, that must be a scam. They're an absolute cult or something. Anyway, my husband didn't listen to me, which is great because I'm so glad he didn't. And he went and did a lot of seminars with this particular coaching company. To be honest, the transformation that he had during his coaching practices and working with these coaches around self-development, personal development, and really working through some of his trauma that he had at the time just created him into this whole different person. And I couldn't not look at it. For a year, it took me 1 year to be convinced to even look at what he was doing. And it was so bad before I started seeing how well he was doing. It was so bad that I would not allow him to speak to me about what he's learning because I was just so almost confronted by it. And it wasn't until I saw how well he was doing and it started to get my attention, and the way he was speaking about the world and had this complete different perspective, this positive perspective and this like amazing perspective on life. I was just like, something must be here. It was inspiring me. After me just constantly bringing him down around what he was doing, I started to be inspired by the words he was saying and, more importantly, the actions that he was making. So I remember very vividly, I actually went to his graduation from his coaches, and I was still very supportive. Like, obviously I'd still go to the seminars where he would be graduating from his particular courses. And I sat there at one session and the head coach came over to me and took me aside. It was in this small room, little office room where they obviously have consultations. I was in a corner and he was in front of me, right in front of the door, and I found it quite symbolic. He sat me down and was like, what are you doing? And I said, what do you mean? He goes, you're a smart girl. Why haven't you done the work on yourself? Remember, I scoffed at him and I said, I don't need your work. I was like, I am so fucked up. I need a psychologist. I don't need whatever you're doing. I need a lot more than what you can provide for me. And he laughed at me and said, I'm telling you now, what I can do for you will be better than anything that you have embarked on before. And if you sign up and do our next seminar, I will personally work with you. In that moment, I suppose my ego did play to this a little bit, but I kind of just reflected for that instant and said, well, the changes that I have seen in my husband have been phenomenal. And if this man can actually do what he says he can for me, because I know I'm in a really bad place but don't want to admit it, well, then maybe I should just go for it. What the fuck do I have to lose? So I just said, fine. If you're going to work for me, and he's the head coach, he was the head honcho, I was like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to be working with you, the absolute expert. Don't want anyone else. I don't want a little minion. I don't want one of your little junior coaches. I want you. I think it was like 6 months later, I went to their next seminar and my mind was absolutely blown. Everything that I thought I had believed in got crushed. All the stories I told myself about what people should be like, how we should live, qualifications are the only way through this life, you know, everything's so black and white, completely annihilated. It was like someone just said, here's your shit and it's right in front of you, and now you're going to confront it, no matter if you like to or not. And I think that was the most transformative thing to have ever happened to me. There's some people that go through these experiences with these coaches, which are one, a domino effect, where you leave those seminars after getting your mind rewired and just signs happening over time with things just falling into place for you. Or two, you have this like moment of, oh my God, this is what life really is. And this is what I've been missing out on, thinking so narrow-mindedly. And I had the second. I had the full realization like, oh my God, I've been holding on to the past for way too long. I've been running this shit story about being such a victim of life for far too long. I've been so married to my story that I've had the blinkers on, not looking at any opportunity around me. And I've just been so hard on myself for so many years, running this behavioral pattern that did not serve me. I had no self-love. I had no awareness of the world around me. I had no awareness of how my thoughts, feelings, emotions all created my personal reality, which is actually my personality. I just was in a state of complete wow, state of almost disbelief that I've let this run my life for so long. But with that disbelief came a stroke of inspiration, a stroke of drive to do more, be more. Now that I understood what was going on for me, what thoughts, behavioral patterns that I was so unaware of were running my life, now I knew and had the wisdom to change it, to be more. And this is what I'm trying to show you. You may have no self-awareness and you may lack it completely, but you can be someone like me who was so black and white, all for the university, all for the government and what we're conditioned to believe in, all about societal views, really judgmental, hating myself, not happy with my body, feeling like I'm just, you know, life just is forcing me to do things and I have no control. Whereas now, I realize I control my reality. I am the captain of my own ship. I make the rules. I am the one that is in charge. Life is the book and I am the author. From having the wisdom and the awareness of my thoughts, feelings, emotions, behavioral patterns, my traumas, everything, all the shit that's in me is my power. It empowers me to think differently. It empowers me to open my mind. It gives me the confidence I need to navigate life. Since that first seminar, I obviously had a huge awakening and went on various seminars after and just tried to teach myself, learn as much as I can that there is to do with personal development, human development, neuroplasticity, the whole lot. What I have taken from it and the changes I have seen in my life have been phenomenal. No one else could have taught me the things that I have been taught since that first seminar. The biggest things that have come out of that level of awareness was the improved relationship I had with my mother and my family. I didn't hold resentment for the things that happened to me as a child. I wasn't as angry at life for the things that I experienced. I had a better relationship with my husband because we were able to connect on a deeper level. I was able to know all of myself, and when you start to know all of yourself, you know others as well. I was also able to let go of those repetitive behaviors that were holding me back in life, that were like my self-limiting belief systems. I was always the one to say, oh no, I can't have that. You're born into money. Oh no, I can't do this because I don't have that personality. Or no, I can't do this because I just wasn't meant to be in front of a camera. But yet here I am. I mentioned earlier that I'm now the author of my own book. And what you realize when you do this work is if you're rewriting the same page of that book, you'll never change. You'll have the same things happen to you over and over again. And this is what I took from it. I was like, I've got this newfound awareness. I'm able to make these changes. I'm able to change those pages. I'm able to move through those pages. I'm able to write something, not like it, change it, pivot. It was actually giving me that trust in myself to know that I can do whatever I can do as long as I have that trust and love for myself. Another big insight that I got from all of these years of the work was life happens for you, not to you. You are not a victim unless you allow yourself to be the victim. You can do what you set your mind to. With this new level of awareness and understanding of life and the power of the mind, I feel so called to share it with everyone that wants to listen and everyone that wants to actually make changes in their life. When you have this level of awareness, you start to cause the effect on your life. This is why I'm so passionate around what this can do for you, what this level of awareness can open for you, and how you can take advantage of this and really be the creator of your own life. It's not the money, it's not the partner, it's not the relationship, it's not the job, it's not the family, it's not the car, it's not the materialistic stuff. It is not your external environment that shapes you or defines you. It's actually who you are to your absolute core. What values and belief systems do you have, and what is your mindset? And once you understand how to hack into that, your life will transform. So I hope this video just gave you a little bit of an insight into my journey through self-awareness, how it went from 0 to 100 in terms of my level of awareness, and how my life has transformed since. You can do the same, and you can also embark on your own journey. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me.